English Edge podcast.
From the English Clarity Lab.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the English Clarity Lab. I'm Mary, and honestly, I am so glad you're joining us today.
And I'm James. And yeah, we have a very relatable but stressful situation to talk about today.
Exactly. Today, we are talking about boundaries, specifically how to stop a coworker who talks way too much when you are trying to work.
Oh man, this is the worst. When you are learning English, you want to be polite. You want to make friends. So when someone starts talking to you, you just listen, even if you are super busy.
Right. You nod, you smile, and inside, you are panicking because your work isn't getting done. You are afraid that if you tell them to stop, you will sound rude or aggressive.
Yes, so today we have a highly specific scenario to practice this. Imagine we don't work in a normal office. We work in a high-tech vertical hydroponic greenhouse.
Very cool. Lots of plants, lots of water systems.
Exactly. I am the new agricultural technician. I have to count exactly 50 drops of a special nutrient into the water tank. If I mess up, the plants die. I only have 2 minutes before the water cycle resets.
But my senior coworker, Mary, comes in and starts talking to me about pigeons.
Pigeons? Yes, and I am trying to count, but I don't want to be rude to my senior colleague. Let's look at the vocabulary we need to survive this without killing the plants or our professional relationship.
Okay, before we jump into the role play, let's look at the tools you need. If you just say, stop talking, that is far too aggressive. It breaks the relationship.
So what is the first phrase we should use?
The first step is to explain why you need them to stop, but you blame the task, not the person. You can use the phrase, to be pressed for time. This means you have a very strict deadline right now.
So I can say, Mary, I'm a bit pressed for time right now. It sounds so much softer than I'm busy.
Exactly. Another great idiom is to lose my train of thought. This is perfect for when you are counting or reading. If someone interrupts you, you lose your train of thought. You forget where you are.
That is exactly what is happening to me with the water tank. What about the actual interruption? How do I stop them mid-sentence?
You have to apologize for the interruption. Use the phrasal verb to cut someone off. You say, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but it shows respect.
I love that. I'm sorry to cut you off. Okay, and how do I tell them I want to hear the rest of the story later? Because I do want to be friendly.
You use the idiom, let's put a pin in this. Imagine putting a thumbtack in a map. You are marking the spot so you can find it later. It means, let's pause this conversation.
And then I can say we can catch up later. To catch up means to talk socially.
Perfect. And finally, you tell them what you're doing. You say, I need to get back to this task. To get back to something means to return your focus to it.
Okay, I have my vocabulary. I am ready to save the greenhouse.
All right, let's set the scene. James is standing over a massive water tank. He holds a tiny dropper of green liquid. He is whispering numbers to himself. I walk in holding a clipboard, looking extremely relaxed. Ready? Let's begin.
James whispering, 32, 33, 34.
Hey, James. Wow, it is humid in here today. Anyway, you will not believe the documentary I watched last night. It was 4 hours long.
Oh, wow. 35, 30, wait.
Yeah, it was about competitive pigeon racing in Belgium. Did you know that people pay thousands of dollars for a really fast pigeon? They put these tiny little electronic rings on their legs.
Uh-huh, that's interesting, Mary. 36.
And the diet. They feed them these special seeds. Honestly, I was thinking we should get a pigeon for the greenhouse, as a mascot. What do you think?
Mary, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but I'm really pressed for time with this nutrient cycle.
Oh, am I distracting you?
Just a little bit. If I don't focus, I'm going to lose my train of thought, and I have to get exactly 50 drops before the timer goes off in 60 seconds.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. I'm so sorry.
It's totally fine. The documentary sounds amazing. Let's put a pin in this, okay?
Absolutely.
I really need to get back to this mixture, but let's catch up in the break room at lunch. I want to hear about the pigeon diets.
Deal. Good luck with the drops. And scene. James, the greenhouse is safe. The plants survive for another day.
Honestly, my heart was actually beating fast there. It is so hard to interrupt someone when they are clearly excited about a topic, even if that topic is Belgian racing pigeons.
It really is, but you handled it perfectly. Let's step out of the role play and break down exactly why your response worked so well. You didn't just say, "Stop talking, I'm busy." You used a very specific, diplomatic formula.
Right. First, I took the blame for the interruption. I used the phrase, "I'm so sorry to cut you off." It immediately softens the situation. I am acknowledging that I am stopping her, but doing it gently.
Exactly. And then you gave a purely logistical reason. You said you were pressed for time and that you were going to lose your train of thought. Why is that better than saying, "You are distracting me"?
Because it blames the task, not the person. If I say "you are distracting me," it sounds like an attack. But if I say "I am going to lose my train of thought," it makes the problem about my own brain and the strict deadline. It removes all the personal offense.
That is brilliant cultural pragmatics right there. In English-speaking workplace cultures, people usually respect your boundaries, but they expect you to communicate them clearly and politely. But there was one more crucial step you took. You didn't just end the conversation forever.
Ah, yes, the reschedule. I said, "Let's put a pin in this and catch up later."
That is the magic phrase. It tells your coworker, "I like you, I value your story, but the timing right now is just bad." You protected your boundaries, but you also protected the relationship.
And honestly, having those exact phrases ready in my head makes me feel so much less anxious anymore. I don't have to freeze and just suffer in silence.
That is exactly the goal of the lab. All right, listeners, now it is your turn. We're going to do a quick shadowing exercise. I want you to listen to James and repeat the sentences out loud exactly how he says them. Copy his rhythm, his intonation, and his polite tone. Ready? Let's go.
I'm so sorry to cut you off, but I am really pressed for time right now. If I don't focus, I'm going to lose my train of thought. Let's put a pin in this and catch up later.
Fantastic job, everyone. Remember, you have the absolute right to protect your time at work, no matter what language you are speaking. Practice these phrases and you will never feel trapped by a chatty coworker again.
And please don't forget to download the free PDF transcript and vocabulary sheet using the link in the description. It has all of today's phrases so you can review them before your next shift.
Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time here at the English Clarity Lab.